Well, I certainly wasn't bloody expecting that, was I? I only went and won. So on Friday night was the second running of the SOAR Summer Mile. It was at Battersea Park at the Millennium Track. And the event saw 10 races of about 25 competitors in each race, seeded by people's kind of estimated time when you entered. And then I think the organisers also looked at some kind of recent performances as well in races to seed in groups of 25. So I was assigned the second race, the Piri Procession, as it was called. When I entered, my target was 6:05. I had no idea what I was really working towards. I've never raced anything like a mile before. 5K is the shortest I've done, and at kind of 19:30, I suppose that roughly works out as about 6:30 pace. So I think I worked on the basis that 6 minutes based on that should be fairly respectable. So that's what I went with. And then I was seeded amongst a whole bunch of other people who would, if I looked at their Para 10, kind of looked like they were able to run about 6:10-ish, there or thereabouts, based on some recent performances. So I certainly seem to be in about the right place. So rocked up, did a quick warm-up, jog around Battersea Track on Friday evening, which is nice. The weather was pretty good. Had been for much of the day, really, so that went really well. Had a bit of a jog round, got changed. There was a few guys from the club as well, and so I met up with them, had a quick chat, and then before I knew it, really, it was my race time. So like I say, it was the second race up. It was 7:15. Lined up at the start line, bit of nervous chatter with some of the other guys there, discussing what we were hoping for. Some were looking for kind of PBs, sub 6:10, edging towards 6 minutes, which seemed absolutely perfect. So we were all lined up, and the fella starting us just went, right, you've got a pacemaker. What would you like? 5:45. And there was a very sudden, that seems a bit toasty, and I think kind of a few pleads for 5:50, maybe 6 minutes, and all of a sudden one lady behind me kind of chipped in and said, oh no, come on guys, let's go for 5:45, let's give it a try. So we felt suitably chastised, and we decided that yes, perhaps we ought to give that a go then. So we all agreed 5:45, and the pacemaker was told 86-second laps. And that was it. So my spikes were on, I was stood on the track, first time I've ever raced on the track. 23 of us I think, ended up in the race. So the gun went. That's exciting. Not sure I've ever been in a race quite so close to a gun before, but gun went off we set, and I very quickly, around the top of the bend, found myself in about third place. Went around the top bend. The pacemaker was constantly checking his watch. He seemed quite happy. There was a tall guy in front of me, so I kind of sat in behind him, and I was in about sort of second or third place for much of the time. So I had done a lot of reading, a lot of research, watched a few videos, very much under the impression that the idea in a mile race is to get through the first 2 miles without doing anything too stupid, push on through the third, because that's the one where everyone struggles, and hold on for the fourth. So first 2 laps felt good, felt controlled. I'm not going to lie, felt okay. As I look back now, do I think I could have pushed a bit harder? And I'm in two minds. I could have pushed harder. Certainly, I could have run harder than I was at that moment in time, but I probably would have fallen off, and the wheels would have gone sooner. So I felt controlled. I was comfortable, as I say, sitting behind the tall chap in front of me. The pacemaker pulled off at a kilometre, so there was 600 metres still to go. We knew the pacemaker was coming off at about that point. So interestingly, the lady who had been stood behind me, who was pushing the 5:45 idea, kind of pushed on, and she went to the front, took up the pace as the pacemaker pulled off, and I think pretty much she and I and one other guy, so I was still in third, kind of really started to push at that point. Crossed the line for the final lap, and I knew this was it. And I just tried my best. I just kind of dug in. I tried to. I would be lying if I told you I was thinking of anything in particular, other than to keep on her shoulder, to keep with her. You know, she was a very good runner. I think it was Susie. When I look at the results, and that's certainly what I was hearing people shouting. So I was kind of keeping with Susie, and rounded the final bend. So I guess about 80 meters to go. Pulled up alongside her and just kind of kept going. And she pushed me. She tried to sprint, and I just tried to kick again. I could see the clock; it was looking fantastic, and I just kind of pushed on, and I kind of couldn't believe it really. So I finished in first place. I actually won a race, like the first time ever. I mean, I possibly won a race at school, maybe at Sports Day, the Egg and Spoon, maybe. I don't even remember that necessarily. So yeah, I actually won a race, which was very exciting. My final time was 5:41. I suspect it'll be rounded up to. So absolutely ecstatic. I mean, I would have been pleased with 6 minutes. Like I say, I have absolutely no bearing on what I was hoping to achieve. That's largely what I was training towards, was about 6 minutes. Came to the finish line, congratulated everyone, handshakes and all the rest of it. And I thanked Susie for pushing the idea of 5:45, because I wouldn't have achieved the time had I not done that. And that was it. I got interviewed in the mix zone for the first time ever. So interviewed via video. So hopefully I'll share that with you soon. I've not seen that actually go live just yet. So I'm excited to see what they came up with there. I've also not seen any pictures from the event. So it'd be great if there's some photographs around somewhere, because that'd be really exciting. Commentator for the night was Ross Murray, and he made it all sound very exciting, I have no doubt. He chucked me my prize, so he came through the finish line, and threw me a box of SOS berry, which is really tasty. So they had some of that on the go. And then the night kind of carried on rolling. There was a bit of music. There was the crowd were on lane 4, cheering everyone along. There was free beer. So as soon as I got changed, I was straight at the free beer and cheering on my clubmates who did a great job. We had, interestingly, I was the only one who won, by the way, but I was still the slowest of the Guildford runners. But great shows from everybody. Next competitor up was Terry. He ran a great race in about the 5th race. The two after that ran kind of, I think Ben got 5:18. Adam beat his target of a sub 5 minute mile, which is just bonkers. That seems crazy to me. Matt then went on to run a 4:40 something, I think. And in the flagship race at the end of the night, John Sanderson won 50 quid for being the first person through with 600 to go. So he was leading the pace. They were trying desperately to kind of hope to keep the pace up by offering a cash incentive for leading the race at the 1,000-meter mark. However, it sadly didn't seem to have been much of an incentive, and I think John was a little upset that no one else had kind of been pushing the pace in the early stages. So he actually came 4th. I think missed out on 3rd place by 1/10 of a second or something bizarre like that, maybe. Which was a shame, and I think ran something like 4:09. So fantastic effort, phenomenal. But I'm not sure he was entirely happy with the way the race unfolded. But as the night, as an event, it was absolutely fantastic. I will definitely look to go back next year. It was a great event. I would definitely encourage anyone to sign up for the SOAR Summer Mile next year when it comes along. If you've never raced on a track before, do it. I think the last person in the first race, certainly, I've not looked at any of the other results, but she was a fantastic lady, ran about 10 minutes and 12 seconds, something like that. So genuinely, you don't have to be a 4-minute miler to run a mile on the track. You just have to like running. It's only 4 laps plus 9 meters, and it's such a good event, so exciting, and it's a real test of what you can do. So sign up next year, definitely. And I think as proof to what mile training can do for you, I then went out Saturday morning, jogged down to Park Run, and sadly my ego would not let me have an easy run round as I thought I might do. And for the first time ever, I ran sub 20 minutes at Cranley Park Run. So it's not my 5k PB, but it is my Cranley Park Run PB, and it's a hilly course. It was wet because it had rained overnight. So it's wet and slippy, hilly, and I still ran sub 20 minutes. So there you go. That's what mile training can do for you. Mile training makes you faster. So that's a quick roundup of the SOAR Summer Mile 2017. I am just about to go live on a blog post about the race as well. So I will link to that in the description. So please do make sure to check that out. Also, remember to subscribe, hit the subscribe button to get new updates every time I post a new video. Give me a thumbs up if you like this very quick review, or indeed if you just like the fact that I won a race for the first time ever. That's also very exciting. Drop me a comment if you raced the mile, if you have raced on the track before. Let me know, or let me know what you've got coming up. My next thing is a 10k race now in 9 weeks' time, so hopefully I can carry this speed forwards. So as always, remember, if this idiot can run, so can you.